This is Alexia Tsotsis with TechCrunch TV, and I am here with StumbleUpon CEO Garrett Camp. And StumbleUpon recently got funding, $17 million from August Capital, Excel, DAG. Who else? There's more.
Yeah, pretty much all our existing investors and DAG.
It's a really interesting story, StumbleUpon. I know you got, this is technically you're a Series B round of funding, but it's actually the third time.
This is the fifth phase of StumbleUpon. Yeah, I mean, we actually moved down to the States in early 2006, raised a little bit of angel funding. Then we actually were part of eBay for 2 years, and then we bought the company back a couple years ago. And this is technically our Series B, but it's about our third time around.
So 2005, you had 1.5 million in funding, your seed round. You were a little startup.
Early 2006, yeah.
2006. You got bought by eBay for 75 million.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about that? And did you ever think that you'd have your company? Did you ever think that you'd have your company back?
No. I mean, this is all a surprise. Honestly, it's like I just kept trying to make it better and better. But yeah, it was really cool. I mean, eBay was great, and then I think at one point realized it'd be better if we were kind of separate. We could be a little more flexible, a little more nimble. So yeah, once it happened, things have been great, and we just raised a new round of funding, and we're going to use that to make the service as good as possible.
What led to the decision to buy Stumble back from eBay?
I think, as I just said, like the desire for flexibility. I mean, I think bigger companies kind of require more approvals. It takes longer to get stuff done. So I thought that we'd grow a lot faster if we were a smaller company. So.
We reported that you bought it back for around 29 million. Is that accurate?
I can't say that. I can't say how much it was.
So did you ever think that this is like a rebirth of Stumble? 17 million is a formidable.
Yep.
So what are you planning? What's your next phase?
The next phase is more platforms. We recently released the mobile apps. So we have an iPhone app, an Android app. We're going to re-release iPad app. We're going to do one for the Chrome pad. We're going to get on TVs. We're going to hire way more engineers. So if anyone in San Francisco is looking to work at a cool startup, I suggest you apply to StumbleUpon. So basically investing in hiring and new platforms.
You also founded Uber,
Yep.
UberCab, which has a significant presence here.
Yes, that was a surprise to me. I found out about the day before what was going on.
It's amazing. So. They're doing a pedicab service. So, which one is your favorite, Uber or Stumble?
Well, I mean, which is your favorite kid? I mean, that's hard to pick, right? I mean, Uber was basically a side project that pretty much was inspired by being stranded on the side of the street on a Friday night, and the next morning on Saturday afternoon, I would go kind of figure out how it would work, right? But I realized I didn't have enough time to do it, so fortunately my friend Travis Kalanick, took over, and he's running it full time. So it's kind of my side project that's become a real company now.
So when you were at eBay, did you give up on the product a little bit? Like, does it feel more, are you more excited about the product now that you're on your own and you've gotten a second chance to make something amazing with this?
I think it's more exciting now because it's a little faster paced. I mean, the great thing about eBay is that I was totally focused on product, totally focused on engineering. I didn't have to deal with fundraising. I didn't have to deal with a lot of the kind of operational issues that sometimes you have at a company. So because I was focused on less of that, we actually grew really well. We actually tripled in size during our time there. But I just kind of realized that we'd grow even faster if we were separate. So I think now is actually the most exciting time. By no means did it ever stall. I mean, we were actually 3 times bigger when we left than we went in. So.
There was a post on TechCrunch recently called the Age of Relevancy.
Mm-hmm.
And StumbleUpon really fits well into this because it tries to find spontaneous but relevant internet.
Serendipitous discoveries, things you never would have thought to search for.
How do you see this? Like, who else in the space do you think is interesting? And is anyone doing something similar to what you're doing? And who else do you think in the relevancy, spontaneous discovery space is doing something cool and deserves note?
There's no one else really doing what we're doing. I mean, the thing that's unique about StumbleUpon is there's one page at a time. So traditionally feeds are a list of links, and you'll go and you'll do a search, or You'll go to and see like everything your friends have posted. But there's nothing else I think that kind of does the one at a time, and that gives it kind of a surprising nature. And it also makes it very good for visual media. So if you're looking through photos or videos, it's actually kind of faster to just kind of flip through them than to click and then click back. And then, it's that kind of interaction model is actually oriented towards kind of textual content. So I think StumbleUpon's a lot better for photos, for videos, for media, maybe even music. So I think that in terms of the kind of one-click personalized discovery, I think we're the only company. I think I would have heard of it if it existed. So yeah, we're just kind of doing our own thing.
What do you think the relevancy space or the serendipitous discovery space is going to expand, or are you at the forefront of this expansion?
I think so. I mean, I think that it's always been around. I mean, anytime you go into, well, I guess in the old days in a bookstore, a movie store, and you would kind of browse on the shelf, I think you were kind of looking for that experience. Window shopping when you're in a mall. I mean, there's a lot of times people don't know exactly what they want, and they want to just find something that's interesting and relevant, and they go to certain places to do it. And in the offline context, there's a lot of places where people do offline discovery, and they don't really particularly. So I think that we're just trying to basically move that experience of kind of flipping in a magazine and kind of being surprised by what you see next, or being in a mall and kind of looking through and seeing something really great in the window that you never would have thought existed. Like those kinds of experiences we're trying to basically bring online.
What advice do you have for an entrepreneur who maybe sold his company to a bigger company and is bored and wants to leave and start something different?
Yep.
As personal experience, what advice do you have to the person who wants to go and do a third startup or just quit the company and chill for a bit?
I think the decision you got to make is, do you want to keep working on the thing that you're already working on, and is that your top priority? In my case, I really wanted to continue working on Stumble. I basically wanted Uber to become a reality, but I didn't want to, I wanted to focus on StumbleUpon. So I think you got to decide, do you want to stay with the company or not? If you want to keep doing it, well then maybe you could try to do what I did and see if that's possible. It takes a while, but it can be done. And if you do feel like leaving, then I'd suggest getting another side project going and kind of seeing how excited people get about it. And if it does take off, then get more people interested.
Thank you for joining us at South by Southwest, Garrett. I'm excited to Uber it around tonight, or whatever you guys say.
Stumble around.
Stumble around.